All right, today we're diving into a really fascinating ancient myth. It's about a lonely king, a supernatural queen, and a secret that could either make a kingdom or completely destroy it. We're going to unpack how one single choice, a choice between love and fear, can literally change everything. So this quote right here, this is the heart of the entire story. It's a bit of a puzzle, right? A promise, almost a paradox. What does it even mean? Stick with me, because by the end of this, we're going to understand it completely. Okay, so let's start at the beginning with our first section, a king's empty throne. This is where we really see the paradox of having all the power in the world, but still feeling totally alone. And we see it through our main guy, a kind and respected king named Sharif. On the surface, King Sharif's life looked perfect. I mean, the guy had it all. He commanded huge armies, his treasure vaults were overflowing with gold, and his people absolutely loved him. By any measure, he had everything anyone could possibly want. Well, because for all of that power and all those possessions, the one thing he didn't have was love. His throne was huge and impressive, sure, but his heart was empty, and that made him incredibly lonely. And that loneliness leads us right into our next section, the forest's magical secret. One night, trying to get away from it all, the king just wanders into this dark, enchanted forest. And this encounter, well, it's about to change his life forever. In the middle of the woods, he comes across this mysterious girl. And she's surrounded by this soft, glowing light, you know? Her whole presence just felt like magic. The king was completely captivated. For the first time in his life, he fell deeply in love. So, now that he's found love, the king's life is totally transformed, which brings us to a prosperous new era. He was absolutely convinced he'd found his soulmate, so he and the mysterious girl from the forest were married in this huge, grand royal ceremony. And you won't believe the effect this had. It was immediate and just astonishing. After they got married, the kingdom just flourished. Wealth started pouring in, the people were happier than ever, and the king's reputation grew even more. It was a true golden age, and it was all thanks to his new queen. But, you knew there was a but coming, right? Underneath all this happiness and prosperity, a massive secret was hiding. A secret about the queen that the king had absolutely no clue about, and it was casting the shadow over their seemingly perfect life. Now we get to the really incredible turning point of the story. It's time for the big reveal of the Jinn Queen's true form. This is where everything gets turned upside down. Okay, so before we get to the reveal, it's probably helpful to know what a Jinn is. In mythology, they're these powerful, supernatural beings. They exist in a world that's kind of parallel to ours. The most important thing to know is they are not human. And there it is. That was her secret. The queen, the love of his life, wasn't a human woman at all. She was a Jinn, a being of immense ancient power. Just try to imagine the king's shock when he finds this out. This incredible discovery brings us to the real heart of our story, a choice between fear and love. And for King Sharif, this wasn't just a moment of shock. No, this was the single defining moment of his entire life. So let's break down what's going on in his head. On one side, you have his fear. I mean, her supernatural power, the fact that she's not human. It's the ultimate unknown, and that's terrifying. But on the other side was his love, the pure, real love she had shown him, and the incredible happiness she had brought into his life. And in that critical moment, the king made his choice. He didn't give in to his fear. He chose to embrace the love he knew was real. He proved that his love was so much stronger than his fear of the unknown. And it's this incredibly courageous choice that unlocks the true meaning of the whole story. It finally reveals the ultimate blessing that had come into his life all along. So this myth leaves us with some pretty powerful lessons, right? First, that love goes way beyond just appearances. Second, that acceptance is how you conquer fear. And maybe the biggest one of all, that true wealth isn't material, it's emotional. Her love was pure, and really, that's what brought him everything. And that's exactly why his choice was so powerful. The king finally understood that everything he had gained, the prosperity, the happiness, the respect, it all came from one simple source, her pure and genuine love for him. The form it came in just didn't matter.
And this brings us right back to where we started. The greatest blessings often come from the unknown. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. In your own life, what do you fear just because you don't understand it? And is it possible that very thing could be your greatest blessing just waiting for you to embrace it?